following is a presentation of Main Street Media, your source for news, sports, and information on Main Street in Middle Tennessee. It is Thursday on Main Street Sports Today, and on the program we'll be joined by new Page girls basketball coach Randy KOFFMAN, also Christopher Martel, an author with an interesting story, a little Predators conversation to be had with that. Field of Dreams expansion, interesting. A little Braves talk as well. And the Grizzlies, Yahoo, they are back in the mix of the Western Conference semifinals. Down to the Hall of Famer Mo Patton. Here's the Sunday Kid from Alabama, Chris Yao.
Welcome in. It is a throwback Thursday where we throw it back to JP for the rundown here real quick. I'm kidding. JP, how's it going, man?
Oh, we're hanging in there.
Are you sweating yet?
We got a lot of, our lights are flashing like it's Studio 54. So, there's always of beautiful West 7th Street.
Here in
Columbia. We need that West 7th Street came back. Sometimes just to break away from the chaos.
We got plenty of chaos, no doubt. And I'm the captain of the ship. Captain Chaos.
As per usual.
Oh, man. Mo, how are you?
I'm all right.
It's been an eventful Thursday so far for me. I had to go chase down a news story this morning, one of those where it's a lot of information from a lot of different people, and you got to figure out how to ask the right questions to the right folks. So
that's where you make your bones, though. See,
it is. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Good.
So anyway, again, like I said, we're going to throw it back to JP and get quickly to our rundown today, where we give you yesterday and today's results, I guess, on the rundown. So here we go.
Rundown. Let's do it.
There we go. I hit Thursday, which is not Thursday anymore. So we'll get the rundown here. Told you we got a few things happening. Whoa, come on back. There we go. All right, high school baseball from yesterday. We have this all district tournament too for baseball and softball. Brentwood over Franklin over Centennial, Eagleville down Moore County, East Robertson over Joe Burns, Fairview over Harpeth, Joe Burns over East Robertson, Lebanon shutting out Green Hill, Loretto over Giles County, Murfreesboro Central Magnet over Martin Luther King, Tullahoma with a pair of wins over Page, and Richland defeated Colioca. In softball, Brentwood downed Overton, Columbia defeated Independence, Eagleville over Moore County, Franklin fell to Centennial, Gallatin over McGavock, Loretto down Giles County, Huntland defeated Eagleville, Lawrence County fell to Marshall County, Siegel over Oakland, Watertown doubled up Smith County, Springfield down to Clarksville, Station Camp over Beach, and Nolensville over Summit. Boys soccer on the pitch yesterday, one match. It was White House Heritage 2-1 over Greenbrier. College baseball yesterday, Trevecca fell to Kentucky Wesleyan 14-2. That is also a tournament. Is that right? Their tournament. All right. Speaking of tournaments, OVC tournament at Oxford, Alabama.
Softball.
Thank you very much. Yes, one right up. SIU Edwardsville 8-3 over Austin P. And then today we've got Belmont, or they defeated UT Martin earlier 6-3. Both of those at the OVC tournament. The SEC tournament in Gainesville underway.
Still playing.
Tennessee and Mississippi State still scoreless. And are we in the 11th? Is that where we are?
So Tennessee has 8 hits. Mississippi State has 1. And
they're tied.
They're tied at 0.
Well, there you go.
That's brutal. Sorry. Anyway, continue.
All righty. Major League Baseball last night, the Braves down the Sox. That was the Red Sox, 5-3. It was the Sounds falling to Jacksonville, 7-5. NBA, the Grizz put a big hurting on the Golden State Warriors. We're about 50 at one point, but they ended up winning 134-95. That series shifts back to San Francisco. Warriors lead 3-2. Nashville Soccer Club SC 3-2 winners over Atlanta FC, and that is the U.S. Cup thingamadoogie that's going on.
U.S. Open Cup or
US
something,
Open Cup,
whatever.
Yep. All right, hey, whatever gets fans in. Thursday schedule, that will be today. High school baseball, Pope John Paul II in McCallie. It's a 4 o'clock start. 4:30, you'll see Fairview at White House Heritage. Smith County at Watertown at 6. Mount Juliet at 11 and at 7. In softball, Columbia versus Summit at 4:30. Gallatin and Beach at 5. Franklin and Brentwood also at 5. Rockville and Siegel at 6. Also at 6, you'll see Smyrna and Stewart's Creek, Westmoreland and Watertown. And at 7 tonight, the Beach Gallatin winner from earlier today will play a doubleheader and face off against Station Camp later on around 7 o'clock tonight. Boys soccer, busy schedule. Again, all tournament action postseason for spring sports in the state of Tennessee. Page and Murfreesboro Central Magnet at 5 o'clock. 6 o'clock first touch. Smith County at Watertown. 6 also Fayetteville at Richland. Harpeth hosting Republic. And at 7, Columbia welcomes Independence. Station Camp and Hendersonville play at 7. It is Smyrna and Laverne at 7. Merrill Hyde, STEM Academy, and Oakland at Siegel also at 7 o'clock this evening. College baseball today, the Great Midwest Championships of Mason, Ohio, Trevecca, and Walsh. First pitch was thrown out around noon.
It's 3-2 in the 7th.
All right.
Walsh
3-2-7. All right, to baseball tonight, Jacksonville and the Sounds down in Florida. 6:05, first pitch. It'll be Small on the mound for the home team Sounds. That is your rundown on this Thursday edition Main Street Sports Today.
JP is clearly flustered.
How so? What did I miss?
The Sounds are in Jacksonville. You said in Florida. Then you said the host Sounds. I don't think they're going to.
The host?
They're not going to be batting sick. You did. That's okay.
It's kind of rolled up. Meant to be on the mound, Small on the Sounds. I don't know. Yes.
He's a little flustered. It's okay. Life's a dance. You learn as you go.
Amen.
We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have Coach's Corner, and we'll hand out some hardware. So stick around on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in to Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. I am Chris Young. He's Mo Patton, and we are glad to be with you here on this Thursday edition of the show. Mo, as you heard in the rundown, there are a lot of high school district tournaments happening right now, and I want to talk about those a little bit later in the show. I'm very curious as to what you've been seeing in Southern Middle Tennessee specifically. So we'll get into it a little bit later. But as we do each Thursday at this time, we like to reach out to one of our coaches in the mid-state and get them on to Coach's Corner, brought to you by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. We love Renee and the gang over at From the Heart, and sure do miss getting over there. So we'll have to do that here soon and very soon. We'll be going to see the Heart. Renee.
Yeah.
Comma Renee.
Yeah. Hallelujah.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
But right now we're going to make our way to Randy Kaufman, who's standing by on video, newly named Page girls basketball coach. It's exciting for Paige to certainly make a fantastic hire. So, Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
What's happening? Can you guys see me? Am I in there?
Barely. We can barely see you because.
Hold up. I got you.
I wish I could get. I wish we could get
There we go.
Mo to be that blurry sometimes.
Mo needs to be that blurry.
Hey, there he is. Look at there.
I see you sporting the Page swag already.
Hey, let's go. Let's go.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
That's courtesy of Dr.
Congratulations.
Katie Hill. I'll have to give her props there.
Well, hey, administration's got to take care of you. You got to like that. Congratulations, man. I said on Twitter when I heard about this that I don't think Paige could have made a better hire. I didn't realize you were available, but clearly you were. But I mean, given your background, particularly in this area, the last time you were in Middle Tennessee, it went pretty well. So welcome back.
I appreciate it, Mo. And kind words from you on Twitter. That's for sure. But yeah, it's been a good 4 years up here. And we've enjoyed our time in the mountains. We enjoyed our time at Lakeway Christian Academy, and really excited about our new journey at Page High School. I mean, my gosh, what a great start and foundation that was laid by Coach Brock and those girls the last 4, 5, 6 years. So just excited to get the family back, and what in the world we're doing moving in a bull housing market. I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know what teachers / coaches are making in Williamson County, but those houses right behind Fred J. Page High School, I don't think you're going to be looking there. No.
There might be a player or two over there. We would encourage those girls to come out. We'll have tryouts here in a couple of weeks. So excited about that. And going to do something I hadn't done in a long time. We're going to actually have some spring basketball days. You know, we've generally not done that because, most of our kids are playing AAU basketball this time of the year, and certainly there are at Page too. But we're going to try to take advantage of the 4 or 5 days that we're given before school's out to kind of get acquainted and start putting in our system. So excited about getting the girls in the gym next week.
Well, given the district and the region you're in, I'm sure you want to get and take advantage of any jump start that you can possibly get when you look at what's coming back in that district. You are one of at least 2 new coaches in District 8-3A. We had, Chris and JP had Wendy Scott from Lawrence County on
right
about a week or so ago. But I think Tullahoma's returning a lot. Obviously, Lincoln County's got a couple of players down there as well. So it's not a easy district. And then when you look over there at that other district, District 7, where you've got defending 3A state champion Upperman, no big deal.
Well, just much respect to the people that you've named, including Chad Hibden down at Tullahoma, Michael Dodgen at White County, Leslie Riddle at Livingston Academy, Dana at Upperman. I mean, the league is just
Dana, who they just named the floor for, I believe.
Amazing, is it not? In fact, I just sent her congratulations in regards to that. And, Coach Tips at Lincoln County, another fine coach. So
he's the best coach in that family.
I'll let you work that out with the rest of the team.
You better clip that out, JP. We're gonna need to send that to Gregory.
Chad is the best coach, best tips coaching. We'll say that. Yeah, but yeah, it's going to be fun if you like that kind of thing, I guess.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to get coaches that are going to show you what you got to get better at, and I think that's the biggest thing. Coming in right now, those are uncontrollables, though. They just are. Much respect to those coaches and what they'll do in their programs, but we don't have any control over that stuff. We can control what's going on at Page High School. And those are the things that I'm anxious and excited about, is getting to know our girls, getting them in the gym, see their strengths, weaknesses, what we got to do to maximize our kids and maximize, a system around them that molds into the things that they do great. And, we feel like we've got some things that are kind of niche-y a little bit. That'll give us a niche. And I think just looking at tape, it looks like, some of the things that we've been successful with the past few years are going to fit nicely with the personnel there. So I'm excited about getting them going.
Newly named Page girls basketball coach Randy KOFFMAN with us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill on Main Street Sports Today. Prior to spending the past 4 seasons up at Lakeway Christian in
the middle of nowhere, Tennessee.
Great way of saying
it. In White Pine.
White Pine. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
No, I know.
I'm highly impressed that you know how to say that. That's tremendous.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yes.
We had class.
Prior to that, in 3 seasons at Riverdale, all Randy did was win 3 state championships. I mean, that's all he could win.
Couldn't win anymore.
Couldn't win any more than 3 since he was only there 3 years.
If it's a championship, we want to win it.
There you go.
We talked about
and let's be fair. We had some great talent there. We had some high level kids. We've got some kids that are still performing in the SEC. We've got one that just transferred from SEC to Maryland, and Renee Alexander, and the Whittington girls at MTSU have just been outstanding. So, they're a great player in Jalen Holcomb over at Lipscomb, a first-team All-American at Rhodes College and Allie Mayhew. So there were numerous, great players that, to be honest with you, had to show a little bit of unselfishness for us to be able to do the things team-wise that we were able to accomplish. So certainly not Randy KOFFMAN. Was certainly a group of girls that bought into some unselfish play and the buy-in to give a little bit for the betterment of the team. And I'm most proud of that.
Prior to that, a lengthy stay at Dyersburg, and I did not realize it until here in the last 24 hours when one of your former Crockett County players got the new boys basketball gig at Rockvale. I didn't realize you had been at Crockett County. And what is that? Is that Crockett Mills? Is that Alamo? Where exactly is Crockett County High School?
You named 2 of 7 communities that came together. They were a single A district back in the early 80s, and powerhouses on the boys' side in basketball. It was crazy because they consolidated the school. And so there was a lot of anxiety, a lot of grief about leaving their communities and coming to one school. And so it was really a really good experience for me my first 5 years out of college. So I coached middle school basketball there, coached high school baseball there, coached football there, coached whatever was in season there. And, Wendell was a big part of that. Wendell was a great guy, hard worker, played hard, was a nice player, and ended up a nice high school player over there at Crockett County. I didn't get to coach him at the high school level because I left at that point and went to Dyer County for 2 seasons before going to Dyersburg. So just really proud for him, though. He stayed in touch throughout his career, came down and watched us at Riverdale, and really wants to play the same kind of style that we were trying to implement my last few years at Dyersburg, and then at Riverdale, and then also at Lakeway. So been really cool to kind of see him grow into that, and very proud for him.
Wendell Ingram, the new boys basketball coach at Rockvale, and he said, I steal everything I do from Coach Kaufman. So I guess you're gonna. Yeah, I guess you're either going to get a lot of credit or a lot of blame, Randy.
Yeah, listen, he set himself up for success, because this one can go toward me now. That dude down there at Page, I don't know what he was teaching me.
There you go. Oh, you always got to have a fall guy, as Chris Carter would say.
100%.
So, yeah. Randy Kaufman, new girls basketball coach over at Page, with us here on Main Street Sports today.
Coach, just want to say congratulations once again, and thank you for taking some time with us. And we look forward to talking with you again more often. It should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to 8 AAA and how it keeps playing out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Randy Kaufman and Wendy Scott should be fun.
Yeah, a lot of Riverdale flavor in this district all of a sudden. Yeah.
Wonder why.
Well, a lot of Murfreesboro flavor again, as you mentioned. Chad Hibden getting the gig down at Tullahoma. So yeah, it's should be interesting.
Well, we're excited about it at Page, and like I said, I'm excited about developing the relationships with our team and our community there, and just getting plugged in in Franklin at Page High School and finding out what it means to represent the P. So I'm really excited about it, getting rocking and rolling on Tuesday of next week. So here we go. Guys, I appreciate y'all and what you do for youth sports down there. Believe it or not, I kept up with from afar. You're a great resource for us to kind of keep on the ends is what's going on in Middle Tennessee, being in the East like I have been the last 4 years.
Well, we appreciate that. And at Threes and D, that's all spelled out. THREESANDD. So you know what this guy's about on the basketball court. Randy Kaufman, the new girls basketball coach at Page, with us on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Randy, thank you so much.
Appreciate you guys, and look forward to developing a relationship with you guys as well.
We'll catch up.
For sure. Thank you.
Let's hand out some hardware. What do you say?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The End to Win Life Team of the Week, presented by our friends at Custom Stone Handlers. Ned Rich is awesome. We appreciate him. This is kind of a cop-out because they only played 2 games. Technically, depending on whenever you start your week, they only played 1 game last week or 2 because they played one on Sunday. But
technically it goes Monday through Sunday, so 2 games.
Okay,
you're
good. Good. Let's
but
go.
They won them both.
They did. In fact, it's Columbia Baseball who took down.
No.
Summit Baseball took down Columbia 7-1 in the District 12-4A tournament, and then in the winners bracket final, defeated Ravenwood 13-6. So, congratulations to Summit Baseball. Might as well just go ahead and tell. They won the District 12-4A championship by beating Ravenwood again in the championship on Tuesday. So we'll give them 3.
There we go.
And so congratulations to Summit Baseball for their district title.
Yep.
And MTBJ, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Player of the Week, goes to
Columbia Academy's Avery Slaughter. 14 innings, 22 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 wins. Amongst those 14 innings was an 11 strikeout perfect game performance and a 1-0 win over Good Pasture. So, doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
Right. Can't get much better than perfect.
Nope. No, exactly. Exactly. So
she only gave up 1 run in that Middle Region tournament overall.
Pretty solid. And, that's a reason why this Lady Bulldog team is well placed, I think, to win a 3rd state championship in as many state tournaments. Yeah.
There you go. Well, I agree with you. I think Columbia Academy certainly has as good of a chance as anybody. Let's take a quick break. We will talk a little football and a little baseball potentially in the next segment. So looking forward to it. Stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll be back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones and Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones and Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in Main Street Sports today. Presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. You see what we're working with here on that one. I like it.
Where was that camera?
It's my computer.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting.
That's different.
To say the least.
Just when you think you got things figured out around here, JP throws something else at you.
Hey, try this. It's curveballs. Yeah. We'll talk about the Braves later. I'm not going to get into it now. Because we didn't get to what do you call it if it's horse racing? Opening gates?
I guess. You probably know more about horse racing than I do.
Starting gate.
The starting gate. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we didn't get to it in our first segment there, but it was announced that Kentucky Derby winner Rich Strike will not be striking Rich at the Preakness. And thank you. The predictions have Epicenter as a 3-1 favorite. Also the favorite in the Kentucky Derby and would have won if not for that pesky Rich Strike. I was waiting for them to go over to the owner of the horse or to the trainer of the horse and pull off a mask and it'd be Bob Baffert. Would that not have been phenomenal?
And I would have gotten away with it. It hadn't been for those meddling kids. Yeah.
You know, that's not too dissimilar from what happened with the Masked Singer and Rudy.
Oh, yeah, Rudy
Yeah.
Everybody
Rudy G.
walked out, just walked off the stage.
I think it would have been quite similar at Churchill Downs, too.
Oh, gosh, that would have been phenomenal.
That would have been. We talked about this when we had Chip on
We did.
a couple of days ago. In fact, Chip is the one that sent me a text of an article on CBSSports.com that Rich Strike won't be running at the Preakness after I had said, why would you not? Well, they had planned basically to not run in the Preakness before the win.
Just ready to go to Belmont?
The choice to skip the Preakness was made in the interest of rest and recovery for the horse, according to owner Rick Dawson. So this gives them 5 weeks to get ready for Belmont.
Well, if you are if you're into this sort of thing. Jody Demling of Sportsline hit the exacta in the Kentucky Derby.
How?
Great question.
Bring me back my crystal ball.
So
That's amazing.
anyway, I'm not sure. Let's see here.
Well, what's he betting?
he called the 9 of the last 17 years he's gotten the Preakness correct. So,
That's half of them.
yeah, and he's the one who says Epicenter is going to win. So,
I got a question, guys, along this topic. You know, we've seen this quite a bit of recent years, the last 10 years, where
I'm sorry, he's got simplification at 8-1.
okay, not running in the Preakness following the Derby because just of the time in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to consider pushing back? So if this is too much for most horses to do,
Good luck getting those other 2 races to move off their dates. Though,
unless that is part of the challenge.
That's what I was going to say. I think that's what makes the Triple
so
Crown
few
so
horses
difficult.
can actually run all 3.
Right.
Which again, I guess that's okay. And you know, hey, you know, in the interest of the horse,
if it was easy, anybody could
that's
do
true.
it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Is it good for the sport though? Is it better for the sport to not have your Derby winner not run because
I don't think it's great for the sport necessarily to not have your Derby winner run, but A, if you're the owner of the horse, that's not your concern. And B, I think again, that makes the Triple Crown more special when someone does actually win it.
Yep.
So,
but ain't won it in a minute. So,
well, 2018.
Yeah. It just feels like a longer time ago.
We had a couple in the last 15 years.
Well,
but
2018 feels forever ago anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like,
it's a lot of dog years between now and 2018.
No doubt there.
Gracious.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because it was on the run of show there. Number 2, the Tennessee Titans have apparently signed another former Texans defender, DeMarcus Walker, reuniting him with his former coach, Mike Vrabel.
So he played for Vrabel as well.
He did,
and with Zach Cunningham.
And to be honest with you, that Texans defense was legit. So I ain't mad. Another edge rusher, a guy like DeMarcus Walker. This is a big deal, I think.
I'd rather have Walker than J.J. Watt at this point.
Yeah.
You're talking about former Mike Vrabel Texans.
Talk about dog years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I think the Titans are all in on defense. They basically said, listen, if we're going to win a championship with Ryan Tannehill, we got to
stop people.
We've got to have Baltimore level defenses.
Got to stop people.
And to that, just this whole A.J. Brown thing, if they had paid A.J. Brown, could they have gotten
There's a lot of people
like
they
Walker?
couldn't have gotten because, I mean, the cap was going to hit them pretty hard.
I think we're going to start to see the positives, the upside of
not signing
AJ and allowing that trade to happen.
I think here's the thing though. I don't think that you can just look at this from AJ forward. I think you got to consider some contracts that were signed pre-AJ as well. One in particular.
2 particularly. You gave $100 million to Ryan Tannehill. Now, when we did it, it seemed like a solid move because there are 14 people in the National Football League who can play that position at a high level.
Don't.
And he's one of them.
Don't get started.
But Taylor Lewan's contract has been an anchor on John Robinson since it was signed. So it's tough, but yeah, the salary cap issues are not all on AJ or You know,
And if the Titans had been a little bit more judicious about some of those contracts pre-AJ, maybe it's easier to accommodate AJ. Not at 25 mil.
no, we're
Probably not at 22 mil.
No.
Not for a receiver, but
not even if it's the best receiver in your franchise history. Period.
But I will tell you, I mean, on draft night, when you're seeing arguably the best receiver that franchise has drafted and developed, traded, it's a jar.
It's tough.
Yeah. So
You just hope Traylon Burke can be that guy.
Traylon.
Sorry, Traylon Burke.
Traylon. That's how he pronounces it. Ignore that O. it's not.
UH.
Traylon?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, he is from
Bubble.
Arkansas.
Buvel. So there you go.
Yeah.
Secondly, Jarrett Stidham has been traded from the Patriots to Vegas, which is it's a good place for him. I think, you know, being behind Derek Carr is probably a solid. He's a solid backup in this league. He's never going to be a starter, but he does provide a solid service as a backup. So
Who did they have? Well, they did have Mariota.
Mariota, they didn't have a backup,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
it's a perfect landing spot for everybody, I think.
Sure.
And then
Before
you had
before you get away from
some new football news.
Yeah. Scrolling through Twitter as we are wont to do. At NBC Sports PR. At Maria Taylor named host of Football Night in America.
That is,
Strong.
I'm a little surprised that Maria Taylor was considered, and yet it's the best hire they could have made.
She basically was kind of she hosted a lot of that last year, and with Tariq, Tariqa was in waiting to go to the booth, and when he was not in the booth, he was in the studio.
Right.
So she was. I agree. It's a fantastic hire.
I think it's a great hire. I hate to see her leave college football,
Yeah,
but I mean,
I miss her in college.
Since NBC doesn't have any more college football than they do, because I don't watch Notre Dame.
Me either.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Yep.
Absolutely. Finally, got a topic that I want to push out till later. The Field of Dreams is apparently getting a makeover or a permanent structure, and I want to know if you guys feel like it's even worth it. So
What are they
maybe
doing? Cutting down the corn?
Let's talk about it at halftime, at least for briefly. So stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint, comes back after this. This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, three-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl in Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. As I mentioned just a minute ago, the Field of Dreams, and I think there is some sort of nonprofit 501c3 that's involved, because Frank Thomas is involved in this somehow. Considering a permanent structure that would seat 3,000 for a ballpark And
Is this at the site in Iowa?
this is the exact site,
In Dyerville.
and it would put up a wall in front of the corn, which
That, I mean, if counterproductive had a scenario, that would be it.
I don't mind.
Why are you walling off the corn? I mean, that's
the whole aura.
yeah.
How do the ball players walk into the
Exactly.
field if the corn has a wall?
can't.
They're gonna walk into a wall.
They're gonna walk into a wall. I guess they walk through a wall. They're ghosts. But that's neither here nor there.
Not a good move. No.
That makes sense.
Don't build a
I
fence.
don't-
I
I
get
don't
building some
mind the
stands,
yeah, I don't mind
and
a press
everything
box
else.
and all that stuff on the backside.
but not a fence.
No, that's the whole.
Oh, come on, Major League Baseball.
This is not Major League Baseball.
Who's doing this?
is
Whoever's doing this
No.
it would
should be beaten with corn shucks.
Here.
It would allow them to host future Major League Baseball games, high school tournaments, camps, concerts, festivals, etc. But you can do all of that
without a
as
fence.
is.
without a fence. So
A fence has nothing to do with any of that.
now I will say this. The rest of the site is being developed with 9 baseball fields, an indoor facility,
Oh, good Lord.
team dormitories and a hotel, amphitheater, an RV park, and trails. But this is going to be the mecca of these baseball tournaments going forward. This is where
Yeah.
This is a money grab.
We Americans can mess up a good thing, can't we? We know how to do it better than anybody. Yeah.
keep it simple.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but that's probably
Let
what's
the
gonna
only
happen.
green there be the corn, not the money. Come on.
Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
What?
That was
Do
a
I,
good
do I get a ding?
That was a good one.
Ding myself? All right, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it, I like the idea of having these tournaments there because you can't play a tournament there otherwise if you don't have 9 fields.
Yeah,
or
build the
whatever.
other fields. That's fine.
And then let the kids play on the big field for the championship. And
Yeah.
hey, all for that.
Yeah.
But
The wall?
No wall.
keep the wall.
No.
And apparently they're putting a scoreboard in center field in the cornfield.
Oh
so
no! Stop it!
Just be
Stop
done
it.
with it. It's unfortunate.
Boo.
Boo! Boo that man! Boo that!
Boo that man. Boo, boo.
All right, we're gonna take a break, and when we come back, we will talk more baseball. Braves walk it off last night, so stick around. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint. Back after this.
Happy hump day, gentlemen.
Good luck picking me up to toss me anywhere.
Well, if he can't pick you up,
If we can get him to stay longer, he probably would, and I don't know if that'd be great for this show, Heather.
I mean, you got to have the Hall of Famer on the show, right? What's the show?
Yeah,
what's the show without the Hall of Famer?
It's the only value.
don't answer that.
They just don't like Joey Logano, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
exactly
basically
why.
what it comes down to.
That's exactly why. That's the ding, ding, ding. There's the answer. Hello.
I mean, NASCAR drivers are like, we've said this before, they're like elephants. They never forget. So the 0-1, maybe not. But, I mean, the truth of the matter is that that's how you win races right now.
Can we clip this segment
and send it
to Greg Sankey? We got you hooked up, Greg.
We got this.
Make that check payable to Main Street Sports today.
But then again, Pete Weber connection. I'll have to ask him about it on when we have him on the air Friday.
Anytime you can get a Pete Weber mention in something, it's a good thing.
Got a teething 5-month-old who, hopefully the baby Jesus stays asleep for the next few minutes, so we can make this work. But yeah,
good luck.
Other than that, doing great.
She told CNN that she has been reselling her antique finds since 2011. After the transaction, she wanted to do some digging to see if it had any history on it, and boy, did it. Yeah.
Hold on a second. You said did some digging?
I did.
Well done.
apparently they were looking for a suspect who had stolen a lawnmower, but before they stole the lawnmower, they mowed the grass of the person they stole it from.
Oh.
It's actually pretty genius because I don't look for my lawnmower until
I'm ready to mow.
use it. Apparently, this guy probably had a Ring camera and it said, "Hey, there's motion outside your house," and he sees a guy mowing the yard, so he waits till the guy finishes, calls police.
Now he's smart.
Smart.
We made it back to the second half of Main Street Sports today. On the program here in the second half, we have, of course, Christopher Martel, author of Tales from the Nashville Predators locker room. A little conversation there. That should be fun. Also, the Grizzlies, Golden State, what a crazy series. Heads back to San Francisco, 3-2 Warriors lead after the Grizz blowout of the Warriors last night. And the Braves conversation, as always, now back over to the Hall of Famer Mo Patton and the Sun-Drop Kid from Alabama, Rizal.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Atlanta Braves walk-off win last night, 5-3. Well,
Okay, so I get home from a wild Columbia Central Independent softball game last night.
Yes.
And I caught Arcia's walk-off and that kind of thing. But I get home, and Jody's scrolling through her Facebook, and she's like, what is this about some Red Sox catcher, PLA? I had no idea what she was talking about until I saw on Twitter this morning that pitch in the bottom of the eighth with the bases loaded from Colin McHugh that Kevin Plawecki got rung up on, that was down and away for strike 3.
There was someone who tweeted, I was at the game, and after watching the replay, it was closer than it looked in real time. It wasn't even close. JP, this ball was 6 inches below the dude's knee.
And 3 inches off the plate.
It was bad.
That's pretty rough.
So
bases loaded, top of the lineup coming up on the
in a 3-3 game. So he spikes his helmet and he gets tossed. Alex Cora comes out and
absolutely
pitches a fit and he gets tossed. And then
I ain't mad at him.
No. And then Albies leads off the bottom of the ninth with a single, and Arcia goes yah, as Brian Jordan would say, for the 5-3 win. But yeah.
Please raise your hand if you had the two players with the highest slugging percentage on the Atlanta Braves team being William Contreras and Orlando Arcia. Nobody? No, that wasn't on your bingo list.
Bueller? No.
Seriously, Orlando Arcia has so few at bats. His average jumped 100 points just about last night. I think it was like 60 points that it jumped. Seriously, it was insane. But Arcia had a fantastic game.
3 for 4, right?
3 for 4, game-winning home run. He's got, heck, this is a guy who's got, 7 RBIs on the year? I mean, he's among the...
Maybe he should play more.
I don't see any reason you keep him off the lineup. If you have a DH available, I think he's got to be it. Period.
And there was some, again, Twitter chatter about why he wasn't in left field. And I think we even talked about it yesterday. But someone said that Arcia is a worse outfielder than Ozuna. And I don't think Ozuna's a bad outfielder. Ozuna has an awful arm.
Yeah.
And I don't think Arcia is a bad outfielder. He's just a shortstop playing outfield, or certainly an infielder playing outfield.
Right.
But I don't think either of them is awful. It's just that people know they're going to take the extra base whenever the opportunity presents itself with Ozuna in left. I mean, at least Arcia can throw the ball.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't at least put him there.
Yeah. I mean, if both those guys are going to be in the lineup, I don't know why it wouldn't be Arcia
Speed-wise,
and left.
I'm not sure. I don't know where he and Ozuna match up speed-wise. And if you've already got Duvall
maybe
in
Ozuna
center,
gets 2 more balls than Arcia?
Yeah, and if you've got Duvall already in center, you don't have...
You don't want to put anybody any slower
right
and left, for sure.
So I guess that could be the thought process. Either
Maybe it
way,
is.
Either way, Arcia's got to be in the lineup. He's got to be hitting somewhere.
He does. Yeah. And clearly it's not shortstop because Dansby Swanson is the best defensive shortstop in Major League Baseball.
It's kind of a good problem to have. I mean, that's the weird
Hold
thing.
on a second. Was that Chris Yao putting a positive spin on something with the Atlanta Braves, Mo?
Hey.
Did that just happen?
It does happen on occasion.
He's kind of it's the afterglow of last night.
Okay. He's still
We'll be back tomorrow.
Okay. That's good. Okay.
After we lose to the Padres.
I was getting worried.
They'll blow it in the 9th.
All right.
Throw my hat on upside down.
There we go.
Oh,
they will. They will.
Goodness.
Oh, man.
And some other choice words.
Yeah.
But an off day today before taking on San Diego on a game we cannot watch because none of us have Apple TV Plus unless we get the free trial, I guess.
It's okay.
And if you do have Apple TV Plus, please pass your
Send us your sign up. Yeah.
I've got Apple TV.
Oh.
You have Apple TV Plus?
It's Apple. Well, is that just not their app for their stuff?
Yeah, that's their streaming service.
Yeah, I've got Apple Plus.
I don't have their streaming service. I do have Peacock, but I don't have that.
We'll have to talk after the show.
Okay. All right. We'll compare notes.
Speaking of, and this is completely off topic, but DirecTV no longer has NFL Sunday Ticket. It is up for grabs.
I heard that was going to happen. Yeah.
And without it, I'm not sure if DirecTV can survive. I mean, they finally gone to
you're serious. That's a very serious question.
They finally gone to the stream, to DirecTV stream, and it's a little bit cheaper, but not much. And it just doesn't require you to have, a dish, which is great. But I'm not sure they can survive without it. Seriously, I mean, it was the thing keeping DirecTV going for a long time. And apparently it's going to Prime. The NFL and Prime are getting into bed.
Well, they've got, Thursday night?
Thursday night with Al Michaels on the call. Herbie, yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, they've got the money,
honey.
And we got the time.
Well, and they also said, and here's the best part, is there will be a potential option to pick a team instead of the entire league. So if you only want to watch the Raiders and you live in Tennessee, you can pick the Raiders, and it may not cost $300 a year. It may cost $150 a year or whatever, which is...
That makes sense.
It's a great move.
Yeah. There's no need for the NFL to be greedy now.
Well, I mean, it was cheap to begin with. $300 a year for every NFL game. That's pretty. And you
can't watch every NFL game.
No, you can't.
I mean, when they got 7 or 8 going at one time, it's
especially if they're not staggered times.
Yeah, and they're not.
It's so annoying.
That's why the red zone was so good, because you could get the best of both. Because otherwise, it's pointless to do that, because you are paying all that money just for one team.
That's exactly what you're doing.
So
it's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. It won't be on DirecTV though, so no dish necessary. Hope you got internet, broadband. Otherwise, there will be a dish necessary. It'll be from some broadband service. All right, this day in Braves history.
May 12th, 1941. After 5 years of being called the Bees, the National League franchise in Boston is once again known as
the Braves.
The Braves. What do you think about the Atlanta Bees?
I mean, I could see it.
You'd have to change
especially
your colors.
with Georgia Tech.
Yeah, you're right. That would have been a
just
great
have to
play.
change your colors.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Did,
Welcome to the
they did-
hive.
well, they
Oh, the
didn't
Hornets
change their-
have that.
Up to the hive. That's it.
I wonder if they did change their colors. Because they were the Braves before,
And then they were the bees. And then they,
and I've never seen a colorized photo of a Boston Bees uniform, so I don't know what colors they were. They were black and white.
They were black and
gray.
Color had not been invented yet.
They were black, white, and gray.
they were black and white. Yeah.
They were black, white, and gray. That's what they were. Let's take a break. Christopher Martel joins us on the other side of it. Talk a little on Nashville Predators, so stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Tennessee. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net. Welcome back in. Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, is coming to you live from the Temple of the Universe in Columbia. Glad to have you with us across the mid-state. Mo Patton and JP Plant alongside myself. And we get a chance to talk a little Nashville Predators hockey and welcome in the public address voice of the Green Hill Hawks, Christopher Martel. What's going on, man?
Hi, gentlemen. How are y'all?
We're doing well, Chris. Appreciate you taking some time with us this afternoon. We are not bringing Christopher on, however, to talk about Green Hill football, especially considering where we are, since Columbia Central is 0-2 against Green Hill.
Yeah, we get run out of town. We talk much more about them.
Yeah, so but do want to talk to the author of Tales from the Nashville Predators locker room about where this local National Hockey League franchise stands right now in terms of its pursuit of a Stanley Cup.
You know, I think this team is really kind of at a crossroads. This is something that I think we have said over the last couple of years as well. This team's at a crossroads. This team's at a crossroads. But when you look at where they have gone since getting to the Stanley Cup final just a handful of years ago, it's not a real positive outlook. This is a team that went from the Stanley Cup final in 2017 to losing a very tight series against Winnipeg in the semifinals the next year, then lost to Dallas and then Arizona, and now losing to Colorado, all first round exits. And it's not something that really can really be taken lightly, considering what the level of success looks like for the Predators in their history, and what the level of expectations are now, not just from ownership, but from the fans. So when you look at all that put together, I think this is kind of a team that really kind of finds themselves on the cusp of making some serious decisions regarding head coach, but not just the head coach, but also the front office as well. And for all intents and purposes, this is probably the biggest fork in the road the Preds have seen in probably a good decade, probably since the loss or the removal of Barry Trotz as head coach.
And Chris, when you talk about having decisions to make, who's going to make those decisions is perhaps the biggest decision that needs making.
Yeah, and I think you have to take it one step at a time. If ownership decides that 72-year-old David Poile is still the man for the job, then he's going to continue to be the general manager for however long he's going to be the general manager for. Then you have to look and say, okay, well, what's David Poile going to do in the case of John Hynes? John Hynes' contract is effectively over outside of an option for next season. Has John Hynes done a good job with the Predators as a whole? I think he has, but there are some semblances of issues that could be looked at as like, hey, this is not really a good approach for this team that's always been defensively sound, gaps inside of major holes in the neutral zone that lead into offensive zone rushes on the opposite end. What can really be done about that? There are small little nuances there that really have to be taken into consideration if you keep John Hynes present. Have the special teams been better under Hynes? Absolutely. But being exposed by Colorado in the first round, especially on the penalty kill, is absolutely a problem. In the regular season, I thought they did fairly well. But if you take John Hynes outside the equation, you get to a point where you say, okay, well, if we're not talking about John Hynes here and we're talking about David Poile, who makes that decision, well, that's going to fall on the ownership group. And this is a group that really hasn't been super vocal in terms of in terms of their expectations for the team and for the outlook of the organization going forward. They kind of let it put in the hands of Sean Henry and David Poile in terms of hockey operations. But if that decision is going to be made, then ownership is going to have to step out and say, hey, we've had a good 24-year run with David Poile, but maybe it's time to go a different path.
That I think is that's the biggest issue with the Nashville Predators is the size of its ownership group. And I don't know how many times do they get together and say, hey, let's have a conversation about what's going on, because like you said, they've just kind of let Sean take it. And that's worked for the most part. Again, it's not like the Predators have missed the playoffs for a couple of years. And I guess my biggest thing, Chris, is and we asked this question earlier, is it time for a complete teardown and rebuild, or is what they have been doing the last couple of years worth it, because the young guys they do have are making an impact in the AHL and could potentially make that move to the NHL sooner rather than later?
I think this is an organization that has a lot of good talent in the cupboard, a lot of potential talent. But in the same regard, I think this is an organization that needs to kind of rip the Band-Aid off and go with a full rebuild. We've seen them kind of hang on and make the playoffs and not really do a whole bunch when they get there over the last handful of years. And really since the loss to Winnipeg in Game 7 in 2018, after being so successful in that season, winning the President's Trophy, and just literally just fizzing out in the playoffs. There hasn't been a real stellar improvement of not just the core itself, but not, I wouldn't say mismanagement of Nashville's prospects, but we haven't really seen a whole lot of development from the AHL level to the NHL level. We haven't seen a lot of transition in that sense. And there are some good prospects coming up. Of course, you've seen Philip Tomasino. He's looked really well this year, 76 games, 32 points in those 76. So you're looking at almost close to a half a point per game player. Didn't play on the top lines all season. Is that a coaching issue? You kind of go back to that. But then you have the Afanaseyev. You have Luke Evangelista, who could absolutely be a prodigy with how he did with the London Knights this year in the OHL. The prospects are there. But at the same time, some of the pieces that are in play right now for the current Predators roster really don't need to be there. The Luke Cunnins, I would even venture to say, the Nick Cousins on the roster, and you look towards the high dollar players in the Matt Duchene's and in the Ryan Johansson. Now, did Matt Duchene have a great season? Absolutely. I don't think you really could have asked more for Matt Duchene in the regular season. I mean, you really couldn't have. But the dollar
certainly
signs
didn't expect any more.
No, I mean, considered what we saw last season as opposed to this season. I mean, it's night and day. So you really couldn't have asked for more or seen more. Then you get into whether does Philip Forsberg deserve $8 to $10 million, probably on the higher end of the $10 million. A lot of massive questions there. But all in all, you get back to the big point. There's not a star player for this organization, no matter how you look at it. Philip Forsberg is not going to be a top 10 player in the NHL. Matt Duchene's never going to be a top 10 player in the NHL. Roman Josi, for as great of a defenseman as he is, and even probably winning the Norris Trophy this year, he's not a top 10 player in the NHL. He's not going to be. And the only way the Predators are going to get that is by doing a rebuild and getting themselves a top 3 draft pick and actually picking someone that's going to be able to flourish in a system designed for them. And right now it's just not set up that way. And that also goes back to David Poyle's draft history. He's never drafted a top offensive prospect. And you can even look at it and say, well, Kevin Fiala. Well, maybe Kevin Fiala, but Kevin Fiala was traded for Mikael Granlund to the Wild. And now look at him with Minnesota. So there's a lot of factors in play here, but I am of the belief that I really think Nashville just needs to rip that Band-Aid off and proceed with a rebuild.
Christopher Martel, author of Tales from the Nashville Predators Locker Room, with us here on Main Street Sports today. And you know that Chris Martel is all in on hockey just when you hear him pronounce the word organization. That's the Canadian pronunciation of it for sure. But, Chris, you mentioned the fact, David Poyle, 24 years, he's the only GM that this franchise knows. And at this point, you just don't know or maybe you do know that you can't trust him with, a high draft pick, as you just mentioned. I mean, what is the reluctance, since you've used the term pull the Band-Aid off, what is the reluctance to move on from, a Barry Trotz, who we finally did part ways with, who Chris has a question about that, by the way. What is the reluctance to make that move with the general manager, you think?
I think it may be a fear of the unknown. I think that's, if anything, that's the biggest question mark, is like, well, we could have someone that we've trusted for the last 24 years, or we can kind of pull someone out of the depths and hope it'll work well. That's the only real scenario I can envision as to why Nashville wouldn't do this. Has David Poyle been a good general manager for the Predators? Absolutely. There's no questioning the fact that he's brought success to a expansion franchise and had success over the last 24 years, but it's not the level of success that the expectations for Nashville have been set at now. He has a Stanley Cup final appearance. Yes, no cups. He's won general manager of the year. He's won a President's Trophy. He has one conference title, 2 division titles, 14 playoff appearances, all with the Preds. Now, all of the accolades outside the playoff appearances came in a span of 2 seasons, 2016-17, 2017-18. And people always talk about, well, the window of opportunity. It's still a little bit open. No, the window of opportunity was 2016 to 2018. That window is closed. It is closed no matter what statistics, what analytics you want to put out there. That was the window of opportunity for Nashville. It is now closed. And unless you want to waste the full career of a player like UC Saros, for example, or even waste the back end of a career of a player like Roman Josi, the ownership has to decide, what can we do and why aren't we making this decision? Because if you look at everything, the entire body of work, and compare it to anybody on the open market for a general manager, or even then, maybe a player, maybe a retired player, somebody that has that level of experience. Maybe they haven't been a general manager to this point. We've seen other people that have never been general managers come in and have success. It's at this point in time, the ownership has to really sit on this and think, we've got to make some kind of decision. So we can't be afraid of the unknown. But I really think that's part of the reason, is just a real fear of the unknown. You've sat with a guy for 24 years. It's kind of like a marriage, I mean, are they going to give the divorce papers, or are you just going to sit there and kind of live with it?
That is the question. If David Poile is the guy, do you think he sticks with John Hines real quick?
I'd be willing to bet that John Hines' contract will be optioned for the next year. I think they would be willing to give him one more season and really kind of see what happens after that. But if I'm a fan watching this team and you see both Poile return and Hines' contract option for the next season, I wouldn't expect much more than you're seeing right now. I mean, have a decent season, get to the playoffs, fizzle out if you can't.
But not win a series, because this franchise or organization has never won a playoff series in which Mike Fisher was not a part of the team.
I had a feeling that was going to come up at some point. I saw that.
So
I saw
maybe
it crossing my feed today.
Here's an idea. Let's hire Mike Fisher in some role.
In some capacity. Yeah. Get him on the payroll some kind of way.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I mean, he lives here with his wife. You could always put him as a special consultant to the team.
Chipper Jones, right?
There you go.
There you go. There you go.
Chris, man, thank you so much for taking time with us. We appreciate it. We are looking forward to more talks with you down the road, perhaps during football season.
Hey, I'm all for it, guys. The Green Hill Hawks are going to have themselves a good year, I think.
All right.
Hey.
Yeah.
Who is the real good tight end for them?
Oh, Braden Staten.
Yes.
6'5", Braden Staten.
That dude's a stud, man. Definitely
he is being recruited by about 30 different schools right now.
That's great. That's great. Super looking kid. Looking forward to seeing him this fall. Chris Martel, thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys, so much. I appreciate it.
All right. We'll take a break. Some NBA talk on the other side of it, but also some high school stuff. Not just Grizzlies, though. The NBA has added some playoff trophies and has renamed some. We'll tell you what the new names for these NBA trophies are when we come back on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Ball and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ed Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, ZionEagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's ZionEagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Main Street Sports, Main Street Today, rather. We're Main Street Sports. Main Street Today is your halftime coffee break with the great Devin O'Day, featuring lifestyle, inspiration, and entertainment news. Main Street Today, it airs live weekdays at 11 a.m. Central, or you can catch it on demand on all these Main Street media social platforms, including highlights on Instagram at Main Street Today Radio. Take your daily coffee break with Miss Devin O'Day on Main Street Today, weekdays at 11 on Main Street Media social platforms.
All right, at the risk of us taking this way too long, there's some semi-breaking news coming, and this is my fault, JP. It's my fault because I said that if you took the Denver Broncos and put them in, or
did you put this into the ether and now it's coming to fruition?
What was it where I said that? Oh, if you put the Vegas team in Denver, they wouldn't have as many issues. Well,
correct.
Jerry Jeudy's been arrested. Denver Broncos wide receiver in Arapahoe County.
Okay.
No charges yet, but taken into custody at 11:30 this morning for whatever reason yet. But the two first-round wide receivers from that Alabama draft class
have a little issue in the pros.
That's odd, right?
That is kind of surprising. I mean, I don't know the numbers, but you just don't suspect Nick Saban coach players to really have issues off the field
of that magnitude.
Yeah.
That's
very interested to figure out what's going on there, but it's because I said something about putting Vegas and Denver, and here we are.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's all your fault.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So the NBA has created 2 new trophies and has renamed the conference championship trophy.
Renamed it. What was it?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I think they just named them, I guess. Okay. It says renamed, but I don't know. Yeah. The article here from the Big Lead says the conference championship trophies have been renamed. The Western Conference champion will now receive the Magic Johnson Western Conference Championship trophy.
Okay, so it's got to be the Larry Bird Eastern Conference.
You know it is.
There you go.
Because if you've not watched Winning Time, the Magic Johnson Larry Bird subplot is freaking awesome because Larry Bird just shows up randomly in Magic's mind.
Oh boy.
Well, I mean, I've not seen the show, but I kind of lived it. So,
I mean, seriously, like he'll just like Magic will be in his living room and Larry will just show up talking trash.
That sounds like Larry.
That's how Larry would show up.
And it was hilarious. So anyway, yes, you can't have one without the other.
No.
Bird and Magic.
Yeah. Peanut butter jelly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hamburger.
They got things that match Magic and Larry.
There you go.
But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And now they're going to give out trophies to conference champion MVPs. So, or conference finals MVPs.
Conference finals MVPs.
I don't guess it has to be.
Is this an everybody gets a trophy kind of
come
thing?
on. What? These are professional athletes, really?
Well, I mean, you give out NLCS MVPs.
Yeah, but they've been doing it.
I know, but maybe that's why they're doing it because everybody else does it.
So I guess somebody's paying. Is there a sponsor tied to this thing?
Gotta be.
Gotta be, right?
It doesn't.
Gotta be.
Well, I don't know because
Do we have names for these, or are they named
won't-
after certain people?
The browser in which I am using will not allow me to click on the link.
Okay.
It is apparently not safe. So I don't know.
Okay.
This guy said from the big lead, I don't really think anybody needed a conference finals MVP trophy, but I can't think of a good reason why they shouldn't exist in the NBA. So there you go. Yeah, that's pretty much the NBA news.
It was a shelf builder that's doing this just so.
That's who it was. It's the guy who builds shelves. Too many digital awards these days. We need to get back to giving out trophies.
Lord.
Memphis Grizzlies last night. I had $110 that I have won in the last 6 games.
I thought Mo had the best line.
I think I did too, and I don't think it's getting nearly enough credit.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, okay, it's an elimination game. I'm pretty sure they're going to win. They're not going to lose this series.
What was the line last night?
It was +4.
+4.
But
Is that what you were going to go with?
I was going to go money line.
Okay, which was
+280.
Okay.
And so I'm sitting here going +240. I'm sorry. So I'm like, I bet this $110 that I've won. I haven't lost anything.
Yeah.
Right?
That is the definition of house money.
And I'm just going to put it all on them and let it ride. And I did it. And then I didn't push.
You didn't push send, Herm?
Couldn't push send.
Oh, you couldn't push send.
I couldn't push send.
Couldn't go through with it.
I erased it and did my normal $20 bet. Of course, I won $49.
Yeah. What would you have gotten out of that? 110 would have given you.
It would have been 244.
Yeah. Could have bought us all a steak when we were in
Plus-
Murfreesboro at Spring Fling.
Tell him, repeat it.
Yeah. His scared money. What is it, Mo? Scared money?
Don't make money.
Don't make money. Yep.
That's, now it gets back to game 7. We may think about it.
If you're scared, get a dog.
Yep. Mo, he went back to recreational, didn't he?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I thought he was professional.
I
but
know.
yeah,
I know.
He's weekend warrior.
No,
over here.
I'm not. I'm most certainly not a professional. I'm a professional loser. For whatever reason, the NBA has been a solid pick for me. So go figure.
You've been riding good. Are you going to continue to go with Grizzlies
As long
on
as
something?
Well, it's not necessary. I don't always bet the Grizzlies. I just bet the Grizzlies game.
The game, yeah. You've got a good pulse on the Grizzlies.
For whatever reason, I have had good luck with the Grizzlies this
one way or the other.
One way or the other. That's right. So anyway,
I'm just disappointed my tweet didn't catch fire. Trick whooped.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Talking about whoop that trick. Okay, we did.
Yep.
Bet.
Check.
Now they go back to Golden State.
Yeah, and the sledding gets a little rougher.
Well, if Ja plays, do you feel okay or? Would you just rather him not play? Hey,
At this
played
point,
pretty darn good
I don't
without
know.
him.
I mean,
They play well, but to have somebody like Ja, if you get down to a close game, wouldn't you rather have Ja
Okay,
on the
so
court?
here's what we do. We
Right.
just keep him off the court until we need him.
in case of
In
emergency,
case of emergency.
break glass. There
Exactly.
You go.
Why would you not dress him and just
hold him
and hope? Anyway,
sit right here.
district tournaments continue in high school. I will be at softball here in about an hour at Ravenwood.
Elimination game, Summit and Columbia Central.
This is for the season. This is win or literally go home.
Summit was a state tournament team last year.
And this is win or go home.
Win or go home.
So should be a great game.
I've got
Looking forward to
Columbia Central Independent Soccer.
At
Both
Summit.
those teams will be going on regardless. Yes, at Summit at 7, contrary to whatever else you might have heard.
We told them 7 in the rundown, so hopefully that's anyway.
What they were listening to. Okay.
Let's come back tomorrow. We'll talk more about that Grizzlies matchup on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid Tennessee Bone and Joint, and we'll have Pete Weber and Jeff Him joining the show. Should be a lot of fun. So come back tomorrow. We appreciate it. For JP and Mo, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day. See you then.